Because life is short, life is short. Life is long. And in a relationship,
Love it, Magalie.
like, it's just facts. Like, in a relationship, time passes and the masks fall away and your true self emerges. And now you've found that he's dating or has married some version of you. You've married some version of him. And when you're not in your authenticity, you attract other people who are also not in their authenticity.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hey Babe, Can We Talk? With me, your host and bestie, Drea René. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the place where the hot mess expresses the black sheeps of love, and for those who just can't seem to get it right when it comes to matters of the heart. I am you, you are me, we are one, and if no one else gets you, I do. And if you're returning, I missed you, and we're going to have a great episode. On today's episode, you guys, I am so excited. We have Reinvention architect with us, Magalie René. We're going to be talking about reinventing yourself after a breakup and what it's like dating in your 30s and 40s versus your 20s. It's going to be good. But before we get into that, make sure you guys hit that like, follow, and subscribe down below and comment because I love to hear from you. So without further ado, let's get into it with Magalie. Oh my God, I love your name, by the way.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
First of all, whole outfit is giving.
Thank you.
I love the magenta, the earrings, the eyeshadow, the coordination. I'm here for it.
You're so sweet.
So I want to jump right into it. This title of Reinvention Architect. I love that. How did you get into that? How did it all start? Give us the story.
So I'm just going to start from the beginning. It's a little bit of a winding road. I'm a self-appointed reinvention architect. What I do for a living is I have a leadership development company. So we do leadership education, and that's the corporate side of things. But as I was working with women, mostly 35 and over and mostly in their 40s, I began to realize that they all had something in common, a through line of wanting to change their lives in some way, shape, or form. I was doing a lot of that naturally. That was happening. And then I started to think about reinvention. It just kept coming up for me. And a Renaissance woman, what does that mean? And I realized that that is actually my gift. So whereas I've been on TV and I've spoken about, they've always introduced me as a confidence expert, a leadership development expert, a compassionate leadership expert. But really underneath it all, reinvention is the crux of what I do because I've done it so many times, multiple careers and all the things. We'll talk about some.
Yeah. I think reinvention is so important. And for me right now, I am deadly in that stage of trying to figure out like what the next part of my life looks like. And what did you find with women that they mostly wanted to jump into in terms of reinvention? Was it like after a breakup? Was it a career change? After children leaving? Like, what did you find?
I think that there's always a catalyst for it. So many different reasons why a woman would be in a situation or in a moment in her life where she wants to reinvent. That can be, in the most common ones, divorce or heartbreak, especially in your 30s and 40s when you thought that things would look a certain way by this point. Another common one is wanting to move out of the country or to a new city. That's a big one. A career change where you've done all of this work, you've evolved, you've grown, you've climbed the ladder, you've gotten to this place in your career and realize at that point, what am I doing? I did this for others. I did this for my parents or for the way that it looked or for society or for what I thought I would want. And then underneath it, you come face to face with yourself, I think, at this time of your life.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize like, nope, I'm going to do this for me.
Right.
And that usually is the catalyst. So there's a lot of different reasons.
Yeah. I saw on your Instagram, one of your posts that really spoke to me was when you decided to just start over, quit everything and live authentically for yourself. And I remember getting goosebumps. You talked about like moving out of the country because I've been thinking about that a lot, but just taking that moment to take over your own life and say, why am I doing these things? Is this for other people? Is it really for myself? And I'm so curious what that journey was like for you. Was there fear? Was there self-doubt? And how did you just say, this is what I'm doing, I'm going for it?
Oh my goodness. So it's interesting. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's always fear and there's always self-doubt.
Right.
For me specifically, because I do this work, like I call myself a healer in many, many ways. I'm a healer, but I do this work because I've had to heal myself. So self-doubt and lack of confidence, lack of self-worth, those are sort of that's the heroes or the sheroes journey that I've gone through during my life. And I think at some point, the pain of staying the same, right? You can't deal with it anymore. It gets harder to keep doing the thing that leaves you miserable, unhappy, unfulfilled than it is to push into the discomfort. It gets easier to be uncomfortable and to go where you haven't gone before than it is to sit and stay in the thing or the place or the location or the relationship that you know you're ready to leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what happened to me. I never really moved. I haven't moved yet out of the country. That's on the list. That's on the list. You heard it here first. But I did move across country, and I wanted to live in California since I was like, I don't know, 10.
And you're coming from New York?
I'm originally from
that
Brooklyn,
like
New York.
for you? Because I go to New York and I feel like I'm a fish out of water. Like New York feels like really scary to me. And girl, like I went there. You should have seen me, Magalie. I went to the subway station, to the counter, and I go, I'd like to get a bus ticket, please. And they were like, where are you going? I was like, I think I'd like to go to the Bronx. And she's like, honey, you're not going to the Bronx.
Yeah. Where in the Bronx? That would be my question.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to say no, just where exactly?
Exactly. I was like, I just want to sightsee. She's like, no, you're not going there. Take yourself to little Times Square. And I mean, okay.
We love the Bronx. We love the boroughs. I love all the boroughs, to be clear, but we got to know where exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So New York, and the transition was, I was so clear about what I wanted that I knew LA was the place, and I knew California overall was the place. And I had come to visit before. I had one cousin and his wife who lived here at the time, and so I came to visit a couple of times to kind of get the lay of the land and to see how I would feel. And then I made the move. I did spend a year planning it.
Okay.
But at the end, it's really funny. Our apartment, I was married at the time, our apartment, the person pulled out. So we had no apartment in LA. We had no apartment, and we were living at my father-in-law's for like 2 months. We had planned to stay there for 2 months and then move. And we're like, and listen, I mean, in-laws, we love them.
We love them.
We have the saying I'm Haitian American, and we have the saying, gamun pareta gamun, and that means adults do not live with adults.
Adults do not live with adults, honey. That's why I was like, with the in-laws.
Yeah, no, it was no bueno. So, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but, you just want your own space. They want their own space, all the things.
Exactly.
So I decided, and of course I got my husband at the time, my ex-husband, on board. And I was just like, we should just go. We should go, no apartment. We've done all the planning. At some point, and this is for everyone who's in this stage of reinventing, at some point, you got to just drop the hammer. We got to go from planning and thinking and obsessing and researching to doing the thing. So I just moved. And with that was one of my first big transformations, right? My first big leaps was that, one of them. And what I learned was when you take that leap of faith, the universe shows up for you. God is just in the things.
Right. I have response.
It's so real. And so we drove cross country. We had planned that whole trip. And by the time we got to Kansas City, I wanted the barbecue. By the time we got to Kansas City, I got an email from another one of the apartments that I had looked at, and they were like, someone dropped out. The apartment is open. I sent my cousin to go look at it. I said, is this a good neighborhood? It was in my neighborhood. I had 8 items that I wanted in this apartment. And it all showed up before we even got to LA. So we drove to the new place.
So you just have to take the leap of faith, because I truly believe the universe does conspire to your conviction, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's easy, though, unfortunately, to just stay and get caught up in like, all the reasons why you can't do something. And I think it's important to have community around you that's encouraging you, that's motivating you to not stay stuck. Because I know for me as a Virgo, like I am an overthinker, and I will sit there making lists.
I love
notes,
you guys.
Over planning. You know what I mean? But I will get stuck in not wanting to take the action. Well, what about this? What about this?
Yeah.
So this conversation, it's like something I really need to hear, because it's like, just go take the action and the rest will figure it out. Just like this podcast too. Like I was, not really confident at first about like, oh, what is this going to look like? I don't want to look silly putting out content, and it's like, you just have to go do it. 100%. Take the action.
And the thing about confidence, it's so interesting because you use that term. The thing about confidence is it's a muscle, right? You don't become confident and then do the thing.
Right.
You become confident by doing the thing. So it's a little frustrating, but
right.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about men in New York versus men in LA, but you came here with your husband at the time, and then you guys separated. What was that journey like for you into dating after divorce, and then also the men in New York versus the men in LA? Like,
what's so interesting? First of all, I I'm not going to say there's no difference, but men,
Magalie.
I'm just going to, listen.
Magalie.
Linda, listen.
Magalie.
Linda, listen. I think, like, men are men, right? And, like, each area or region has its own thing and flavor, but it's all fundamentally the same.
Okay.
And a lot of it has to do with mindset. So I don't even know which direction to take this answer because there were so many different stories. Oh my God. But what I'll say, so I'll go from the personal first. What it was like was realizing that I wasn't ready to date. So I went on a date, and on the date, I can't believe I'm about to say this on a podcast, but on the date, it was a tea date, which I normally, it is what it is, but I went to tea to this man, lovely little place. And on the date, I did not like him. When I say I didn't like him, I didn't like him. I didn't like him as a person. Like, nothing about this man. He was attractive, but like nothing about him did I want to interact with.
Okay.
But I was right out of my divorce, probably like maybe a couple months out of it. Yeah,
okay.
a couple months out of like leaving. And I was like, let me try this. I may be getting my timeline wrong, but I think it was a few months. And I sat on this date, and I swear to you, this is what I was thinking. I just need him to ask me out on another date. Like, I'm going to get him to ask me out on another date.
Even though you didn't like him?
Even though I didn't like him. And it was like I had this weird need for validation.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that, right? It wasn't until he asked me out while we were on the date. And I was like, I go, okay, well, I'll let you know. And then I left, and I was like, I can't go out anymore.
Right.
Any man until I figure this out.
Right.
This desire to be validated at that level, it is, I almost feel like, it's a sickness, right?
Right.
It's something we got to get into and pull that out from its root because there's a reason for it. And for me, it came from deep-seated validation that I needed from my parental figure, my dad, right? I mean, he was present and loving, and there were some major issues there. And so, like, I needed validation. I didn't get certain types of validation. And so that's what I kept reaching for in relationships. So I had to take, I think I took 4 years off.
4 years?
4 years. I stopped dating for like 4 years.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I have a friend who stopped dating.
You got to do the thing. You got to do the work. You got to do the work.
I mean, wow. I love that you brought this up, the validation component, because it's so interesting how those seeds get planted from our parents, whether we want them to or not, and how that shows up in our relationships later on and all these subconscious things that we're doing. It's really beautiful that you were able to recognize it so quickly.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, it took me a long time to kind of understand what I was doing. And there's certain things I still struggle with nowadays. I can identify it, but it doesn't always mean that I don't do it, right? Like I do it, then I'm like, okay, wait, I'm doing that thing.
Yeah.
But validation specifically is so interesting to me because I remember I was seeing this guy once, and I'm telling my therapist all these reasons why he likes me, he's doing this, whatever. And she's like, Drea, do you like him? And I go,
do you like him?
Is that important?
Is he? Like, is he right for you?
Right. She was like, what values, what is his foundation?
Yeah.
What's his plan? What's his vision? And I was like, well, he wants to go out Tuesday. So this is feeling really weird to me right now.
That will land you straight into a divorce because the guy might like you, he might adore you, he might love you, he might treat you well. And if you are coming from that place of I need to receive this thing in order to make me whole, well, at least for me, I'll speak from I morphed myself to make myself appealing to this person, whoever this person was,
right?
Outside of like whether our fundamental values what's the word? We're
aligned.
Aligned is a great word. Yeah. I was going to say the word with the C, but it's not coming to me anyways. Yeah. But like we're aligned. And I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about being this person that he would see in a certain way.
Right.
And what happens is later on down the line, you start to realize because, a friend of mine used to say life is long. Because life is short, life is short. Life is long. And in a relationship,
love it, Magalie.
Like it's just facts. Like in a relationship, time passes and the masks fall away and your true self emerges. And now you've found that he's dating or has married some version of you. You've married some version of him. And when you're not in your authenticity, you attract other people who are also not in their authenticity. So it's just like attracts like, you know?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend who got married a while ago actually, and the version of herself is now breaking down. They've been together for a very long time, and this woman that she was, this very sort of Stepford wife-esque vibe.
That's not who she really is.
It's not who she really
anymore.
is. Like she's fiery, she's spicy, and shout out to Spicy. Hey girl, hey. She is spicy, and those layers are now coming out, and he's kind of like, whoa.
I didn't marry this.
Whoa.
This isn't who I married.
Exactly.
And you can't, this is why, so for my second husband, I've been married twice.
Okay.
And with my second husband is the one I'm talking about. And great guy, but like he didn't marry an entrepreneur. He didn't marry this, like, I didn't even wear makeup at the time. Like I wore barely any makeup, and I'm like a diva.
I'm like, you've been triple Leo, girl. Like, what are you
like diva
about?
for days? But I didn't. I wore mascara, maybe sometimes some lipstick. Like I just wasn't that girl. And then eventually, as I grew and blossomed into myself, poor thing. Obviously, he was like, "Who the heck is it?" And then I was like spiritual, had crystals everywhere. It was a hot mess.
Right? He's like, "What is going on?
What is this?"
Right?
And to be fair. This is why I don't want to paint him in some, like, I'm not putting him on a pedestal. He had issues too, right?
Hello.
But like, and I'm not trying to be down on myself because it's very easy, I think, to hear this and to think to yourself, well, this is why women are manipulative. They create this false sense of themselves, and they make us fall in love with them, and this isn't even who they are. But the fact of the matter is, we all change.
We all change,
and a lot of that, for me, was subconscious. I didn't know. I wasn't consciously doing this. This was all stuff I didn't discover I was doing until I started to do deeper work on myself.
Right.
And to realize, why am I unhappy? Why is this such a like contentious relationship?
Right.
And it's really because I didn't know myself. So the first thing is, it's subconscious. We're not doing it to manipulate. That's why the working on yourself is so important. And secondly, this is why values and dating for aligned values makes so much, it's so imperative. Because if your values, my value, one of them, is growth mindset. That means a man has to be agile. He's got to be able to grow. He's got to be able to navigate change. And I had a partner who was fixed. And that isn't a bad thing. It just didn't work with us together. Right. And so if we would have been mindful of our values, we would have known. And this is why we can't date with like, oh, is he cute? Does he look good?
Girl.
Like,
right.
What's together? What's his job? How much money does he have?
Exactly.
Those things are valuable and important, but they're not the foundation of a relationship.
No, they are not. And as my mom says, you can't stay in the bed all day. Okay. So you got to get out there and like life together. Right. I mean, that's nice.
I love that. I love that.
My mom used to always say that love don't pay the rent.
No, it doesn't.
Like, who are you with? Yeah. And one of the things, like, I've not been married in my life, but I think about what it would have looked like had I got married at 25, 26, and not really understanding this idea that you are going to change. Like, no matter what, even with your friends, you change. So it's like looking at a partner that you're going to spend your life with and realizing that the person I am saying I do today could look completely different in 5 years.
They will look completely different in a few years.
Yeah. Want them to. Yeah. Right. And so this idea, I actually don't really understand the fixed mindset. Right. So that person wouldn't be in alignment with me. And I love that you talked about a growth mindset, because now when I'm dating, the language that men use around, you know, their ex, their own internal struggles, and how they deal with problems. Who are you dealing these problems with? Is it just self-reliance? Do you have a community? Who are you talking to? Who are your friends? These are the things that are really important to me. But back in the day, I'm like, well, girl, he's cute.
Yeah, he's
6'4".
Yeah, he took me out. It was fabulous.
And a beer. And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to think how I dated in my 20s to like how I date now. And it's like, I thought, you know, I'm thinking about a family in a future, but I really wasn't. It was all really surface. And I don't even think I was clear on my own values.
And I think for in your 20s, I think that's okay. Like in your 20s, you are who you are. And ideally, you luck out and you both are able to grow through it. Yeah. And there are very few, but there are marriages where people are able to grow through years and decades together. Growth mindset is almost necessary if you want to have a healthy relationship. Yes, because absolutely. Even if, let's say you stay the same, what about life? Like life around you. You lose parents. You don't know how death is going to affect you. Sometimes you have kids. Maybe you have miscarriages. There are so many things that happen. Someone loses their job. all these different factors. I just think that value of growth and being able to navigate challenges is so important when you're dating.
Absolutely it is. And I'm just so particular now when I'm on dates and listening to things. And I try to do screenings before because I date online and ask certain questions. But I mean, you really don't know until you're in the thick of it because everybody brings their representative self. And you're hoping, unless you're meeting people through people, that you're getting the authentic person. But a lot of times,
I think you got to give it time. I
Yeah.
think you got to give it time.
you got to give it time. You got to go through stuff. That's why, shout out to Burning Man. I find Burning Man so fascinating because if you're like a newer couple and you go to Burning Man, you go through all the emotions of everything. So you get to kind of see how this person handles, cold weather or your bike's breaking down. You get lost. You don't have water. And so you're getting to see these person in these really like intense moments and how they show up, how they're acting with you when they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Are they going to blame you? Are they going to throw you under the bus?
Why
Are they
did you
going
do this?
Yeah, throw their energy. Are they going to like dump that on you?
Yeah. And how they show up in these like conflicted moments is so important because I think that's where your relationship truly is, in that rupture and repair. And how do we get back to center? And what language are you using when you're upset at me, when you're frustrated, and so on?
I mean, and to be fair, I don't think so, just in terms of like cisgender relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that, and this didn't work for me.
Okay.
When I was dating, having an expectation, actually, we came together because of Spicy Madi, which is really funny because Spicy had told me this. She's like, well, men aren't women, right? And they're not. And I think I did get into that trap of having this expectation that a man is going to be as emotionally intelligent as me.
Absolutely.
As nurturing as me, as present to the feelings as me. And men generally do not operate that way.
She articulates that very well.
Very,
She
very
really
well.
does, yeah.
And it's like, and when you do any kind of masculine, feminine work or read up on John Gray or any of these like psychologists that do this for a living, they all say the same thing because it's like biological in a lot of ways, right? And also conditioning. But that said, like, I still think it's really important to be picky. I think being picky, there is nothing wrong with that.
Hot take.
Oh, my goodness. It's a hot take, right? But like, pickiness is important. It is better and healthier and more, like, better for your spirit, your mind, your body to be picky and be alone and not find the person than to go and lower your standards and be with the wrong person.
Just to say you have someone.
Dude, it takes years of life off you. Like it's a physically, especially for women, it's physically so taxing to go through that process. And also life happens, like I said, you're going to be going through death with this person.
Right.
You're going to be facing the death of your parents. You're going to be facing some really intense things. Be picky. Be picky at the beginning.
And you don't want to sit across from someone being like, this'll do.
Yeah, no. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm fine. The sex is fine. We're all fine. Okay, but that's
wait. FINE is an acronym for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
There we go.
So you know,
right? And it's like I don't want to live my life fine because when you do see those couples that are truly magical together, there's a reason why it looks like magic and it feels like it's rare. Because I feel, unfortunately, a lot of us do go, okay, you know what? I'm tired. I don't want to get back on the apps.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear Happy Tuesday.
The apps are the worst, man. I don't know.
Are you on the apps, Magalie?
Not anymore. No.
Okay.
No.
Well, good for you, girl.
Yeah, no.
Like, how are you meeting people? What do you do?
I don't know. It sort of happens, and I've just gone through so many. I'm just over it, and not in a way, not in that like I give up way.
Yeah,
not that way. I'm over it. Like I no longer am gonna work to create this thing. I'm going to live fully into loving myself, loving my life, showing up juicy, feeling feminine, feeling sexy, free. That's what attracts.
Right.
Like that energy when you're not looking around every corner, lifting every pillow.
Was doing that.
Swiping every swipe. Like,
swiping every swipe.
Oh my God. And I think that's built into the swiping is expectation.
Yep.
Especially as women, I don't care what anybody says.
Absolutely.
There is no way we're going on a date and we're already thinking, this could be it. This could be the guy. Like,
tell me the last name. I'm like, Drea so-and-so.
I mean,
love the sound of that.
It's so bad. It's so bad. So I think it comes with already built-in expectations, and we got to remove those. For me, I'm just allowing it to happen. And that doesn't mean I sit in my house either. I'm not sitting on my sofa, like eating the chips, watching TV, and waiting for the mailman, waiting for FedEx to deliver.
Right. Exactly. And I struggle with that because I definitely more recently was in that period of looking under all the couch cushions to see.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
And I got to the point I got burnt out and I couldn't do it anymore. And I was like, okay, God, take the wheel. Like I cannot continue sort of just like injecting myself in this way. It just feels not healthy. It's consuming my time and it's not fun. And I feel like I was going on these dates like, you know,
stressed. It was just like inherently also, I think it removes what is, I don't know what, maybe it's evolutionary, but that like the thrill of the chase is a real thing, no matter what a man tells you. He believes that it's not about the thrill of the chase, but his biology tells me different, right? Like testosterone, that goes up when they're at the gym. That's why it's like there are so many, I don't want to go into science because I'm no scientist, but there are so many elements that are like biological. And I feel the apps removes that. You've already swiped. So you've already told the guy, well, I'm interested. Right. So it already takes this like almost the pressure off, and that pressure makes diamonds. Like that's the pressure that if the guy can have the confidence, he builds up the confidence to say something to you. He builds up the confidence to pursue you. He's going to feel so much more accomplished because he bagged you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or he what is it when you put the ring on it or whatever it is, right? Like there is a sense of accomplishment and pride. I think that good men, healthy men have when they see their woman as a woman they pursued and they won. They won. That's a beautiful thing. And that's a tale as old as time. Cleopatra and all the other, right. There are so many. That's just how it is.
So are you giving black cat energy on the dates? Is this what we're doing, Magalie?
You know, it's so funny. I read about that.
I know, me too. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't
think I naturally come across that way. Magalie. I don't know. You tell me.
Magalie.
I'm going to let you tell me.
There's a little black cat going. Yeah.
I think I'm like a cute, cuddly black cat. Like, you know what I mean?
Cuddly, right. You're not giving, you're going to scratch.
No, I'm not like a dark feminine.
No.
But I do believe what I love about being a woman is that we are all seasons. We are all the weather. And that is just a beautiful, like amazing power that we have. So we should never be one thing. And I think that's what doesn't work and why so many women get to reinvent themselves. And why I had to reinvent myself was because I was one note. I was like nurturing, sweet, open, naive, and giving all the time. And that is one archetype of a full perspective spectrum, right, of what womanhood is. Right. You've got to have your black cat energy. You've got to have sex kitten energy. What else? You've got to have the mothering, nurturing part is beautiful too. And I don't think it serves unless you've really gotten raked over the coals. So if you've been through it, listen, if you've been through it because you're overgiving, then you get to reel it on in. And so maybe people like Shira 7 and all of that, there's a place for that kind of. That there's a place for that because you get to pull yourself back from overgiving and over loving, right? Being this over loving woman.
Okay, I have a question for you on this specific topic because I'm a little spicy right now about this. So I was seeing this guy for a hot second. It was early on, right? And he has a business and he's busy and all these things. And we were communicating and then the communication got a little weird. So if there's not a flow in the communication for me, it's really hard to kind of like navigate it. And we were long distance. So it was even more important, right? And I'm a Virgo. I have questions. I need answers.
You also have receipts?
I have receipts.
You have receipts?
I need evidence, all the things. But I really was working on pulling that energy back because my mom calls me an FBI investigator. Yes, you do, Mom. She's like, you like the FBI, always asking all these questions. And so she's like, you got to let a man this, you got to let a man that. And so it was early on. So we're still figuring out like how much we like each other and whatever, what we're doing. But he kind of disappeared for like a day and a half. And then he comes back and he sends me this long message about his work situation. Okay. Right? Now, it's early on.
What's early on? Like how many dates?
Was 2 weeks. It's very early.
Okay, so new.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But to me, this is that point where everybody should be excited. And I don't feel like there should be these gaps in communication. And when you see a text from Drea You should be excited.
Damn it.
Okay? 32 hours to text me back. Not that I was counting.
Oh,
Anyways,
so he texted. Oh, okay. You gave me a little more context. I was going to ask other questions. I thought it was that you'd been in communication and then it paused for a day and a half.
Well, we were in communication, yes, and then it paused.
But what I'm hearing is that you texted him and then he paused.
Yes.
So he left you on red for a day and a half?
A day and a half. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so then comes back with this very long
No, because he could have easily said, hey, I'm really busy. We'll reply to you later. That's just common courtesy and respect. Anything else to me.
Maga.
And and then if you make the faux pas and the long text, absolutely not. Pick up the phone.
And
right?
I had
and
called.
Call me and we can talk about it. Then you get to clear, right? He gets to clear that this is why this happened. That's not my usual, just he's got to own it. But that's telling me there's something already in the gap.
Exactly.
A day and a half isn't long, but it's a long time to be left on red.
Exactly. And I had also called and then in response got the text message. So I just felt.
Oh, you called him?
Yes.
I would absolutely not have called.
Yes, I called.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe something,
No,
So,
he didn't get hit by a truck. He didn't die.
Exactly. And then
oh my God, is he dead? No, girl, he's not dead.
alive.
They've made movies about this.
He's alive. And so my thing was like, my friend said to me, you need to meet him with grace. You need to meet him with, because you were talking about openness, nurturing, being understanding. And I'm like, okay.
You can ask questions.
I was very gentle and loving. And then what was upsetting to me was that we had discussed long gaps, right? I said, this can be dysregulating to me.
Yeah,
so
he already knows it then.
Exactly.
But also okay, so this is I just heard this and it landed for me. I knew this actually internally, but somebody articulated it really well, that there's a difference between standards, expectations, and boundaries. Boundaries are internal. So if I have to tell a guy, and that's not to say you don't tell him, you got to leave him kind of guessing. That's not what I mean. I just mean if you have certain standards, then your boundaries are your boundaries. You don't need to communicate, this is what I like. Because when you tell a guy, this is what I like, then if he really wants to be with you, and that's not who he normally is, he will put on and this has happened to me. This is my last kind of relationship.
Okay.
That's what happened is I was so upfront and open from the beginning. And I told him so many things about what I want and don't want. And he played the role perfectly. And I mean, I still am almost grateful I had that moment because
now you're having this.
I know what it's like.
The lesson.
Yeah, but also I know what it's like to receive from a man in such a beautiful way. And I don't know if he just did those things because I said to do it and he wanted me versus just naturally being that kind of person. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I see.
So it's like a really fine dance, and it's not really about overthinking. Well, I don't want to give him any hints and don't want to tell him what I like and don't like at all. I want to be a locked box. But in the beginning, you got to just it is where that looking under the pillow and the expectations, it's so beautiful to release our grip and to hold the sand gently, because then it's like, let's see what he chooses to do. He's telling me who he is.
Through the choices that he's making.
Totally. If he's not calling. I mean, there was one guy, he didn't call to check if I got home. I was at dinner late, and then I got in my car. I had to drive back from where I was, and he didn't text to say, are you in?
I'm sorry.
And at that time, I was still learning a lot of these things. So I was like, well, I felt kind of a way that you didn't call and text me. So every single time, next time, he called and texted. But was he calling and texting because that's who he is and he actually cared about who I was and whether I was safe? Or did he just do it because I asked him to? So there's a little bit of that in the beginning. I feel like you really need to give a man space to be who he is.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't walk on the outside. Maybe that's not the guy.
Attention to everything. You know what I pay attention to?
Because I'm Caribbean. Listen, you got to walk on the outside of the street. Even when my male friends don't do it, I'm like, oh my God, I will move myself. But that's just how I was raised,
Yeah.
So there's a woman that's okay with that. I'm just not that woman. So yeah.
And sometimes women aren't paying attention to these things. Yeah, because I'm from Texas, and there's already
obsessing about it, right?
But I do be noticing, girl. And the thing I really notice is food etiquette. I always notice.
That's also manners. That tells you a lot about his raising.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with this guy.
And it's no offense. I don't want to like look down on people.
Yeah.
We all come from different places and spaces.
Absolutely.
And it's like, what are you okay with and what's comfortable for you?
But that's
I
what
would
I'm
prefer
saying.
a man who has etiquette, who's been,
he's
broken.
He had a little home training. Home training, as my mom would say. And listen, I always look at the pie chart, right? So if there's 80, 90% I love, and there's like 10%, I'm like, okay, let me give him some information I can compromise.
Yeah.
So I want to be clear on that, guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Like,
that's a great.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, he's doing all of these things. I can be reasonable.
Yeah.
But
they say you're going to
things-
get 60%, right, of what you want from a man. You're not going to get 40% of it is going to be things that annoy you. Like,
period.
And vice versa, because we're not perfect either.
No, I am not.
Yeah. I hate to say that.
I hate to say it, but it's true. But food etiquette is something that's so interesting to me because I always pay attention. I'm like, would you like the last bite? And I remember I went on a date with this guy, and this one I was
Oh
like,
my God,
I don't
do you
like
do that?
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm especially if it's something that a person really likes. Like I'm paying attention to all these things, right? And so we were eating ice cream, had our own little separate ice creams, and then I said to him, I was like, "Oh, do you want to try some of mine?" And so I'm still eating mine, but he takes it, and we're in conversation, and he just keeps eating my ice cream. And Magalie, I'm looking at him, I'm going,
I said a bite, sir.
I said a bite. and as through conversation, he is darn near finishing it. I go, okay, that's enough.
He also maybe wasn't paying attention, though. That's the other thing is like,
well,
I don't know.
I feel like it was a healthy portion, girl. I had a couple bites.
I'm sorry.
I had a couple bites. Salted caramel. Don't play with me.
That is really funny.
Like,
I don't know. I feel like I go back and forth because there are places where, so etiquette is one thing, but like if he's not paying attention and he's doing a thing, that's a male thing.
I don't care.
But you just pull it back.
Yes.
Okay, good.
But like you said, I was also trying to see what he did. And I was like, this mug is about to eat all my salted caramel.
That's really funny.
Like,
he was. He would have gotten down to the tick, tick, tick.
Babe.
To be like, oh my God, did I finish it? Yes, sir, you did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I was like, I don't, because to me, sometimes it's indicative of other things. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this saying? And just like the guy not calling you, which I find if you don't check on me to make sure I got home safe. That is a big
even
one.
a text, but let's be real. There are guys that know how to play the game and will do all the things.
I know. Then there's that too.
There's that too. So I don't want to like throw a monkey wrench in it. It's just that this is why the inner work is what will shift all of this. If you are just trying to intellectualize this kind of conversation to date right, you're still in a position to get taken out. Okay, to get heartbroken, whatever. Heartbreak can happen anyways, but do you know what I mean? Like to end up with the wrong kind of person.
Right.
What really serves and adjusts for that is doing, I say it's reinvention, but really becoming the kind of woman that attracts the right kind of man, and number two, can feel the wrong kind of guy. Even if he's saying all the right things and doing all the right things, you are so you've done your own healing that you could feel when something's off, and you don't need proof that something is wrong because you trust yourself. Right. And self-trust is one of the most difficult, I'm speaking from experience, the most difficult hurdles and elements of reinventing yourself.
Absolutely.
How do I learn to trust myself like nobody?
What's coming up for you,
like
you're
nobody
not going to question it. So with that guy that I was having this back and forth with the not texting me for a few days, if I look back in hindsight, even though it was a short amount of time, there were little things.
There were other things.
In the beginning where I was like, and it did come up for me.
There were other things. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let me see. Ooh, I don't know if I like that either. In somebody for a long-term partner. But I was like, you know what? He's his job and the jet lag and all these things and making all these reasons. And then it came to a head where I thought for my own boundary, 32-hour response time is just
not going to be okay with
work
me.
For me. And everyone was making me feel a little crazy. Like, Drea, it's not that long. Drea, this. I said, listen, you do you. Like, if you want to get a 32-hour response time, I love that for you, but that don't work for me. Like,
I mean, and if there are other, if there are other things involved, the leaving you on red is the thing. Not talking for a day and a half isn't the end of the world. Not a problem.
Absolutely not.
But if you messaged him and he's interested in you, and he happens to, something occurred, he got hit by a car. Let's say he did, right?
Okay.
He didn't, but let's say he did.
Yeah.
Then in a day and a half went by, he would call you and say, hey, my bad. This is what's been going on, and it was a little bit crazy. And then you give him, because I believe in giving a person grace, right?
Absolutely.
But he didn't clean that up in an effective enough way to show you that he actually cared how that made you feel. And you told him.
I told him.
And this is the thing, like it now, having done so much reinvention work, like literally there are processes, like I've mastered this process. And having done that, now it's just a feeling. Like it isn't like, well, didn't he? Da-da-da. It's none of this in mental, because that's the mental part. That's from here.
Yeah.
Women, we've got to learn how to come back to this. This is what makes us women. It's our bodies.
Right.
And like, until you begin to really tap into the body work, we are as a collective going to be, especially if you've been through trauma. I just want to make that as a side note. It's a big side note. If you've had unhealthy dynamics in the way that you were raised, in watching relationships, or in relationship with you, like any trauma at all, I feel like you really have to do the inner work even more so, because you've got to relearn how to trust yourself. You've got to learn what's a trigger versus what's your intuition. And those two things are different.
Ooh, a trigger versus what's your intuition. Yeah, I think I've definitely gotten tripped up in my life on figuring out what's the difference between those two things. And also just being confident to trust myself.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, like with my track record, a guy tells me he likes me, I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Like, I can't.
I mean, you shouldn't, though. You shouldn't care.
Okay.
Because there's nothing to care about yet. He hasn't shown you who he is.
Exactly.
And this is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing.
He
said all the things. He said all the things. But the men, it's action. It's action. That's it. That's it.
Oh my God, that's it. So I want to go back to reinvention quickly and ask you, so a woman's listening to this right now. She wants to reinvent herself. What advice would you give to her? What are some of the tools that she can implement today?
Oh, that's a great question.
To start this process of jumping into that reinvention and not leading with fear and self-doubt?
Okay, so I don't know where your listeners are at. I think everyone's on different points of their journey. I actually gave you, so one of the places is in your language, is in the way you communicate. I call it magnetic language. It's something that it's a gift we're going to have.
I'll
give you
on your
okay, great.
Instagram.
So then we'll put it,
like,
I hope that you'll be able to put it in the notes, the show notes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. So that they get it. But it's magnetic language. It's learning how to communicate in a way that is powerful, attractive, but holds boundaries without being aggressive. So I think your language is a little tricky, but I think your language is one of the things. It's like, how do we, again, like become the kind of women that can say no and not feel the guilt, the shame, the what if, oh my God, did I, right? And can communicate in this powerful way. So I think one is language. I think the second is, it depends what stage of reinvention you're in. You know, some of my clients have done a lot of inner work. And so they come to me because they're stuck in inner work. They're stuck.
That's a real thing.
Listen, that's a real thing. Years and years, years and years of therapy, right? They're stuck doing that. They're stuck. They aren't taking action. They maybe aren't getting back out there, whether it's in the dating field or with something they want to create in their life. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's a passion project, whatever it is.
Right.
But so depending on where you are on your journey, there are different things that you can do. And maybe I'll send you, I mean, I don't know how many links you could put, but I have another, like four stages of reinvention.
Yeah, email those.
Yeah, which will tell you like, and it's based on like my reinvention and where I was in each stage. Because I went from like needing deep inner work and just being like such a hot mess, low self-worth, to eventually I was in that third stage, which was, and there are 4 stages, but the third stage is where you're just a high achiever, you're overdoing, you're fierce in these certain areas of your life, but you're burnt out. Right. You're not taking inspired action. You're not doing the authentic thing. you're like successful, but in this like mask sort of way, right, out in the world, but internally you're not
a mess.
Yeah, you're not living who you truly are, like who you truly want to be. So I think it's different things for different people. If you're at the beginning of your journey, then start with inner work, right? I used the first book that I read that like started this journey was You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay.
Louise Hay.
Yeah, a lot of people lately have said, I think younger generations have said it's problematic. But listen,
girl.
If I have to hear one more... We get it. Everybody, let's think about context.
I'm trying to cancel Louise Hay.
Good Lord. I was like, are you kidding me? This is like the mother of affirmations. What are we doing here? What are we doing? She changed my life. That book changed my life.
Coming from Louise Hay.
I was like, next I'm going to be coming from Don Ruiz Miguel, okay? Like, no one is exempt. I was like, damn.
Have a seat. Take a seat.
So much.
Take a breath.
I get it. But like, listen, her book is amazing. It changed the way that I look at life. And it took me out of victimhood and into responsibility, recognizing that blame is not the same as responsibility. Blame and shame isn't the same as accountability. So like some of those things, going deep into the work, like that's the start, but I like all the things. Plant medicine is a vibe. Like,
yeah, girl.
It's all a vibe. Whatever you need to do to get yourself, to pop yourself out of this same old, and all like your patterns, to start looking at your patterns and breaking and interrupting those patterns.
Yeah.
If you're at the early stages, that's where you should start. If you're at the later stages, you've done a lot of work and you're just ready to like really see the results in your life, then that's where women start to come to me, right? That's where they start to come to me and they start to tell me like, what is it they're trying to create in their life? Who do they want to be? How do they want to show up?
Right.
What do they want to enjoy? Right. How do they want to date? Like all that.
Thank you so much, Magalie. This has been such an amazing conversation. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Magalie_René. That's RENE, MAGALIE_RENE. Or you can find me on LinkedIn too.
Yeah, we'll put all your
professional stuff. So yeah.
Amazing. So before we let you go,
I saw this and I loved it.
Yes.
Ooh, I can't wait to play. Okay.
Oh my God. So I'm going to ask you questions based on, you're going on a date with a guy. These things happen. How do you feel? Red flag, green flag.
Okay.
Now say red flag or green flag for those who are not getting the visual experience, as you should, so they can hear what you're saying.
Perfect.
Okay. Still lives at home with his mom.
Red flag? How old is he? If he's in his early 20s, that could be a very stable dude. So, that could be somebody who's saving money. If he's in his early 20s, he could be, you got to pay attention. But if not, no. Over 20s, no, red flag. I'm waving this thing.
I love you. Okay. Wants to share locations after 3 months.
I don't know. Oh my God, that's weird. I don't know.
He's like, Magalie, I want to know where you at.
Share locations? That's a red flag.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm like protection. I love it, but we don't need to be tracking.
Okay.
I need to be tracked.
Okay. Has children.
Oh, that's a green flag.
Okay.
Yeah. Depending on, of course, there's caveats here, people.
Okay.
How does he treat his ex-partner, his baby's mother, all the things, right? How does he treat his kids?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That'll determine whether it's really a red or green flag.
Exactly. Says I love you after 3 weeks. He's like, Magalie, girl.
I'm such a romantic, you guys, but I think in real life, it's a red flag.
I know, but I'm like, I love you too, but we can't do that.
Yeah, no, but we can't do that yet. Okay, here's the thing. I don't say like it's automatically a red flag. I actually think it's a sweet thing. You don't need to feel pressured to say it back. And you get to watch his actions because words are words are words. They mean nothing for men.
They mean nothing.
Just saying, nothing.
Absolutely not. Okay, text you back quickly. You text him back and he's
green
like,
flag.
Thank you. Right?
Yeah, green flag. I mean, if he's texting constantly, he needs to get a job. But if he's healthy, if he's employed, right? If he has known employments and he texts you back with expediency, that's beautiful. Green flag.
Okay. He shows up on the date. He's hot. His style is awful. You're like, what is this man wearing?
Oh, how awful?
It's pretty bad. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. It's awful, but he's hot.
I think you could work with it. I think the way someone dresses, assuming they're not fixed, right? If they have a growth mindset, it's a green. I don't know. It's a green flag, but
you're not walking away.
I'm not walking away.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
because he has to be. Listen, we know what the glow up looks like when a man gets with the right woman. Come on now. We make them more attractive.
And then last one, he makes TikTok videos. He's a dancer. He's like, Magalie, let's do a little dance.
That's not for me. So it's an individual, for my unique situation. Individually, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Oh my God, Magalie, thank
I like
you
a man's man, honey.
Okay.
Not that a dancer isn't. I'm a dancer, and they are all across the spectrum. I'm just saying.
But I hear you. But I
Relationship
hear
and
you.
me. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I don't want to get canceled out here, okay? I'm not joining Louise Hay.
Shout out to Louise. Shout out to Louise. Magalie, thank you so much for being here. You have been amazing. And thank you so much for your
This was so awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, don't forget this is the place for the hot mess expresses and the black sheeps of love. Make sure you comment, like, and follow down below because I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you next time. I'm Drea René, and this is Hey Babe, Can We Talk?